especially as women in the conventional dating world, it's always about, is he liking me? Is he finding me attractive? Versus centering ourselves and going, am I liking him? Am I finding myself attractive in this moment? You know, it was a few years ago, I finally got like, wow, all my life, I've been giving men the power to decide if I'm attractive or not. I decide.
Yeah.
I decide if I'm attractive. I decide if I like you. This is you see, the conventional dating is always something's wrong with us. We're not lovable because there's something wrong with us and there's something wrong with someone else. And we're always looking for what's wrong with ourselves and with someone else. And this is a mindset that we don't have to buy into. This is a mindset that sells things. This is capitalism. This is, I'm not right, so I need to buy lots of things to make me right. You know, as women, we know how much we're supposed to buy to become more beautiful. And that can be fun or it can be a tyranny. And so, you know, this whole idea that we have to fix ourselves to be lovable and here's what's wrong with us and here's what's wrong with everyone else that we date. We live from this mindset instead of going, do I like him? Do I like what he's doing? I'm in charge of my own life. I'm in charge of my own attractiveness. I'm in charge of my own attraction. If I don't like you anymore, I'm done. I'm in the driver's seat of my own love life. And we've been trained since little girls that the man's in charge of our love life. I'm going to sit passively while the handsome prince finds me. I'm passive in this whole endeavor, and I hope he likes me long enough to stay with me. Well, that's a story we've been told. And, you know, there is a lot of beauty and passivity if it's balanced with yang. Yin is beautiful if it's balanced with yang, but if it's all by itself, it becomes weak and there's no love in it. So part of this not knowing how to end something is because it's difficult, and part of it is because we're not in the charge of our own love life to just say, I'm done. Because we're in scarcity that we can find love again. Maybe I'm not lovable enough to find love again. Well, girl, go out and get it. Go out and get it. Go out and see who you want to be with. But we're taught that I'm not attractive enough. This myth continues that I'm not enough. I'm not enough to be loved. Nobody else is enough to be loved. And if we turn that around and say, love is everywhere, I don't have to be worried about it because I'm a loving being. I create love wherever I go. You see how this question of how do you end something, part of it is beautiful because we don't want to hurt people, but part of it is also like, I don't know if I can find love again. I don't know if I deserve more. I don't know. Love is so difficult. I'm not really in charge. The guy's really in charge. I decide. So part of the dating thing is this fantasy fairy tale since childhood, this beautiful fairy tale. I love it too. That as women, we're going to just sit passively and wait, and this guy's going to come and kiss us and wake us up. And we're not going to be awake until he wakes us up. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to be these sleeping beauties. And for guys, they're going to go out and they're going to see, it's totally how she looks. She looks perfect. She's never premenstrual. You know, she's never bitchy. She's just this perfect, and she never ages, and she doesn't ever talk back. And these little fantasies, you know, these little China dolls. And there's not this sense of efficacy that we have in the rest of our lives of like, I decide I'm going to live in love. There's this thing of like, love is hard to find and I can't find it and I can't get it. In a city of 10 million people, I can't find love. I have so many people I talk to, they can't find love. And I used to be like that. And it's like, I create love. You create love. We create love. We create our lovers. But we're taught that this is a fantasy that's out of reach, that's in the future. It's not in the present moment. So we live in the present moment and love is here. But the whole dating scene is about, it's not here, it's a fantasy in the future, okay? And it's like, no, in a tantric world, everything's perfect right now. I decide to live in love. I decide to find my lover and be in love. We have all these ideas that could happen. It can't be now because, can't be now because these aren't the right people. These are the right people that God put in your life at this moment. Existence put these people in your life right now to see if you're loving enough. And the answer, in my case, was no, I wasn't loving enough. I had to do something about that. So if we can't find love, that's about me. It's not about that anything's wrong with these other people. There's nothing wrong with them. But there is something wrong with me that I can't love who I'm with. It's a little bit inaccurate to say something's wrong with me because nothing's really wrong, but there's something that needs
an unmet longing.
There's an unmet longing. It needs some growth. It needs some attention. It needs some effort. It needs some help. I needed to get help around it. I was always chasing love, thinking it was somewhere out there, which is what the society wants you to think. It's out there somewhere, and it looks like that. No, it's right here, right now. It's really very beautiful. We just can't see. It's that proverbial thing about the fish can't see the water. I was certainly a fish living in a world of love and not seeing it. And I think we all are. Because we're always looking for where the love isn't. I spent a lot of time, all that time when I was in unrequited love, I was focusing on the guys who didn't love me. That sounds insane to me now. It sounds insane. I don't even understand that pattern anymore, but it's a trap. Because then you feel bad about yourself and love isn't there and it's, I don't know. So it's a pattern. And we can go into all the psychology where it comes from and everything, but we can also in this moment go, oh, I'd sure rather focus on where love is than where it isn't. So in Tantra exercises, we sit and we practice being present with a partner or with a group. Like we're doing right now, we practice presence. What do I have to say in this moment? We used to sit, have people in this room done eye gazing? We would sit and we would just look in each other's eyes. And, I used to have my students, my therapy students, I would have them look in each other's eyes for 1 minute. Oh my God, they couldn't do 1 minute. It's so painful. We used to do it for 20 minutes at the ashram. You would just sit with this other being, looking in each other's eyes, and you would cry from the sheer beauty of this other human. Looking into their eyes, people would be weeping and just the beauty. And it was impossible not to fall in love with another human being. We all fell in love with each other because if you really are present and looking in their eyes, you can't not fall in love with them. But what does the dating world teach you? You cannot fall in love with them because they don't look right, they don't dress right, they don't drive the right car, and they're not cool enough for me. For me, I'm so cool. You're not cool enough for me. I can't love you. It's a trip out there. I don't want to go back. Yeah, it's a good exercise when you're having a complaint about someone you're in a relationship with to flip the complaint back on yourself. It may or may not be true, but it's a great spiritual exercise. So he doesn't work on himself. Or he's in a power struggle. How am I in a power struggle? Oh, he's so, what would be another? We all have a zillion complaints. He's so messy. How am I too controlling of his messiness? Okay? Because I try to take, whether it's true or not, I try to see that if God put me or this couple that I'm working with into this relationship, it must be a perfect relationship in this moment. So the ego wants to make it wrong. So what is the spiritual lesson in this moment about the ego finding this love wrong? The tantric perspective is this moment is perfect. I'm the one who can't see that. What is clouding my eyes that I can't see the perfection of this moment? So look how the ego is going. This isn't right. That isn't right. I don't like how they look. I don't like how they do this. I don't like that they don't open up enough. I'm going to blame him for not communicating enough. I don't like this. I don't feel loved. Or is this love perfect and I'm just not seeing it? You know, they used to have arranged marriages, which had their problems, but they also had its beauty because you had to learn to love this person. You had to learn to love them. And yes, there was a lot of abuses and it was patriarchy and a lot of women got beat up and horrible things. But you see the spiritual, there were tantrikas there was a sect in India of tantrikas that the man and woman were sewn into a garment together. They lived their whole life living together in one garment. You think you have to learn to love this other person? Yeah, In India, we did one where we didn't let go of each other's hands for 4 hours. I have a scene in my upcoming book about that as well. And to do everything together for even 4 hours. You know, in the West, we're like, ew, I don't like this and I don't like that. I don't like that he does. It's just irritating. That's me. That's not him. My irritation is mine. He's not doing anything wrong. This is the tantric worldview. It's much more loving.